Hey everyone, I'm Heather and welcome back to my channel. So we are back today with I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. In the last one, we are, I guess, a child, like maybe about 10-ish or so. And we live on a space station. And that space station was looking for a wormhole. We find it, we crash land. We apparently got injured in some way. We wake up and it turns out that we have had some prophetic dreams. Things that we have dreamed seem to be coming true. So we have just talked to a few people. We took a class and we do need to gain skills. I don't know where the story is going, but we will see. It does appear that there's a lot of choices. There is a long list of content warnings. I covered those in the first one. So we will do our best to prevent the ones that I dislike, at least. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we did talk to a few people. I believe we talked to Mars. I forgot her name. We need to talk to our parents, and there's somewhere else over there, but this is our best friend. You see Dis sitting on the ground beside some bushes. Is he hiding from somebody? He seems to be watching the gate in the wall to the south, where grown-ups are coming and going. Kids aren't allowed past the walls, he says quietly, without looking up. They say there's nothing to be afraid of. But then why do we need walls? You stare at the gate and have a sudden rush of memory so strong that you think you might faint. You imagine something crashing through the wall, something enormous and dark and wriggly. For years in space, you've had half-remembered nightmares of monsters, of your ship being destroyed, of sifting through wreckage that used to be your home, trying to find something. Your dad always told you the dreams weren't real. Breaking you from your daydream, Dis whispers, "I think there are monsters out there." I believe you. No, you don't, he says. You're being sarcastic, I can tell. Nobody believes me. He turns his back and ignores you. They're huge and wriggly and dangerous, or leave him alone. We could do this, but he might want us to just leave him alone. Let's leave him alone. Well, you tried. Dis is so sensitive about being teased. I thought we weren't teasing him, though. I thought we did believe him. You find your mom hard at work setting up the greenhouses with a small construction crew. You've seen these plans pinned to the wall of your family's quarters for years now. These geodesic domes will house the most delicate plants from Earth. Spinach, tomatoes, maybe even fruit. She takes a swig from her canteen as you approach. Looking for something to do, she asks. Remember, Heather, you're responsible for your own schedule now that we've landed. You can decide how to spend your time, so long as it's productive. She points toward the engineering wing in the back half of the stratospheric's severed frame. Professor Hall's still expecting you in class, but a well-rounded education includes practical application. You're old enough to help with the work around here. She claps her hands on your shoulder. I've got another minute. Anything you need to know? Okay, so I guess we could talk about all of this. Okay. Let's start asking questions. What are you doing in geoponics? She looks down and nudges at a sprout growing between her feet. It's green, the color of Earth plants. We're doing our best, she says, but it hasn't been easy. I just hope the potatoes and corn can handle the weather here, she says, glancing up at the sky. I hear it rains like hell in the wet season. She takes a long look at you, up and down. You're growing fast, Heather, but you're still too young for real farming. Instead, well, there's a lot of soil that needs to be hauled. Seeing your disappointment, she nudges you on the shoulder. Don't pout. It helps build those muscles. You'll need them now that we're out in the real world, doing real work. Out here, we have to rely on our physical strength. She flexes her biceps. Your mom is really strong. Okay. What's happening in engineering? Hal's teaching classes on life science, engineering, and humanities. If you pass all your tests, maybe he'll let you work there in a few years. Your father thinks you're old enough that school is optional. I don't agree, but I'll be honest with you, she says, gesturing to the fields. We do need every pair of hands we can get. If you want to work with me here in geoponics, I'd suggest studying life science. If you don't have a good grasp on biology and ecology, I'm going to stick you on shovel duty. Okay, let's see. What can I do in the quarters? If you need a break, she advises, you can sit in the lounge and see your friends. But, she warns, raising a finger, I don't want to see you lounging around all the time. You need to work hard, too. Okay, what's the garrison? Security Chief Rhett is organizing a sports ball team. You used to play, didn't you, back on the ship? It'll be different here with the planet's gravity. Of all the adults in the colony, Rhett and your mom are the most like soldiers you've seen on the holovid. For a moment, you think your mom is going to suggest something else. Then she shakes her head. You're too young for defense training, so don't worry about that yet. Just enjoy yourself and stay out of trouble. What's going on in command? I think Seek said they need someone to deliver supplies from the depot. They're also setting up shop there if you've got some kudos to spend. And of course, that's where Captain Governor Udicott works. You shouldn't bother her. She's a busy woman and she doesn't have your mother's patience with kids. You try not to giggle. Your mother isn't usually known for her patience. Can I join expeditions? Oh, you're too young to leave the colony. It's dangerous. She shakes her head. Your father would be worried. There's so much we still don't know about the world out there. Let the adults find out. Then maybe you can join them in a few years, when you're older. She gives you a stern look. She isn't going to budge on this one. For now, stay inside the walls. Okay, bye. Hello, my little potato, your dad exclaims, smiling warmly. What have you been up to today? Playing in the fresh air, just hanging with my friends. That Cal's a good boy, he says. And have you seen Anemone? She's been out there by the garrison playing sports ball. I think she's spent every day outside since we landed. He chuckled to himself. I guess that's what happens when you've got enough brothers to make your own sports ball team. He breathes deeply and looks around slowly. Vertumna is magnificent, isn't it? You nod. Seasons, he shouts, throwing his hands wide. I missed seasons. Back on Earth, it got much, much colder, and the snow wasn't half as pretty as our spark snow. He sighs, stretching. You just wait till dust season. Both the suns will be high in the sky and it will be real hot then. You'll see. Okay. When we talk to you, I think there's just you to talk to. Anemone is bumping a sports ball with her wrist, trying to keep it in the air. Heads up, she shouts and bumps the ball in your direction. Think fast. Okay, we'll bounce it back. You bounce the ball back and forth with her, trying to see how many times you can rally and keep it going. Anemone tells you about the new sports ball court, a proper regulation-sized court, way bigger than the little zero-G one on the stratospheric. Her brother Com is coaching the junior sports ball team this year. He's so great, she says. He's good at everything, especially spiking. He's coaching me to play awesome like him. You should come join us. So we unlocked sports ball in the garrison. Okay. So is this the garrison? Yes. Okay, we already looked at that. That's class. This is the depot, I guess. The living quarters. Okay, I don't know what I want to do yet. So we're going to look around. There are other kids here, right? This is the command. Let's view the notice board. Colony food shortfall 100% low. Colony security rating evaluating. Upcoming event. We will be hosting our first annual Vertumnalia Festival during the second month of dust. Notice, take precautions outside the colony boundaries. Xenofauna have been sighted in the area. Survey teams are investigating. Current council and administration. Governor Udicott, chief administrator. Okay, that's just people. I cannot do that yet. I need toughness of 10 or organization of 10. Okay. I might want to go to school, though. Because I need to learn stuff, don't I? So I cannot do that. So I need to study life sciences before I can do engineering. Okay, I guess we'll do this. It does bring down my stress. And we're not super happy. I guess next month I will relax. So let's do this month. You learn about Vertumnan geology by comparing various rock samples from Earth to the ones from Vertumna, placing them on the Mohs hardness scale. The Earth samples are so weird and gray compared to the pinks, purples, yellows, and teals collected by the surveyors. Earth must have been a dull place. Okay, studying life sciences. Okay, so we need +1 to challenges. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So there's giggling. And that gives us 1. Let's do this 0, 1 and add this. Okay, so that gives us 5. Maybe I can match that 2. Okay, and then see about this one. Okay. So my goal was 10 and I did get it. I assume that like those two are both 0, but they equal 1 because they're together. Now that unfortunately seemed to subtract, or I got an extra 1 there. What does this say? +1 for 2 of a kind. This is +1 for a flush of 2. Another 2 of a kind, another flush. Okay, so I think that's good. There may be other ways, but their tutorial really only talked about the flush and the like 2 of a kind, 3 of a kind, stuff like that. So what I was trying to do here was match up both the numbers and then also the colors. I feel like I did okay. I don't know if this could have been better, but I was like in this tried to match up the zeros and then the color, then the number, then the color. So I think that's how you're supposed to do it. I mean, I did get it, so I got my biology. And now I do have 15 stress. Pretty stressed. This week you had a few more bouts of deja vu, remembering what somebody is about to say or do just before they do it. Sometimes they actually do it, but not always. This morning, you were sure Professor Howe was going to trip on the uneven floor in the cafeteria and spill his plate of hash browns. You even told Mars to watch. He didn't, though. As Professor Howe walked away, his hash browns safe for today, Mars called you a liar and a dummy. At night, your dreams are all mixed up with stuff you know can't be real. You're chased by monsters the size of buildings, only to be saved by strange people you've never met. You're holding hands with someone you love. You're crying as you help lift a shrouded body into the colony recycler. Everything seems so familiar, but when you try to recall their faces when you wake up, they're smeared in your memory like wet paint. But what if those things haven't happened yet, but they will someday? Anytime you try to tell someone, they think you're playing a trick, or that you're sick and need to go to the med bay. You eventually decide to stay quiet about your strange dreams. Why? Secret powers are fun. You just want to be normal. You don't want people to worry. How about you want to be normal? You hope that if you don't think about it, it'll go away. You just want to be a regular kid like everyone else. You look at the sun medallion your dad carved for you, the one you saw in a dream before you ever saw it for real. Maybe you just got a little mixed up, or you overheard someone talking about it, and that's how you knew what it looked like. There has to be a rational explanation for all this. Okay, mid-quiet. Now it's late quiet. Okay. And we are 10 years old. Okay. So we need to talk to people. We need to rest today. All right. Doesn't look like we can talk to her. Maybe we can. Tammy's dad is the head of expeditions, which means he's out surveying the jungle every day. This morning you see her crying in the doorway as he leaves. I don't like when he goes out there, she sniffs after he is gone. But he is so brave. And so are you. That's why I like you, Heather. Well, I would do something, but I have no empathy. So let's go. I'm bored. This is boring, Mars complains, stamping her foot. All the adults want to do is work, and they're not paying attention to me. Tell her about your day. I don't have that. Done. Okay, mom and dad. Okay, we have already done that. Your dad pulls a flower out of his pocket and gives it to you. A blossom for my little blossom? He tucks it behind your ear. I'm 99.99% sure this isn't poisonous, but let me know if you get a weird rash or anything. Okay. Cal is riding around the geoponics garden on his hoverboard. The board comes to a sudden shuddering stop on the rocky ground in front of you. Cal falls off, but catches his balance before he eats dirt. Hi, Heather. Real ground is way harder to hover on than ship floors. There are bumps everywhere. Yeah, that sucks. Maybe hoverboards don't work outside. We all have to adapt. How about we all have to adapt? He seems like that kind of dude. Yeah, Cal explains. Things are actually way, way better planetside. Hovering outside is rad. Look at this. He runs over to a small depression in a nearby hill and presents it like it's something amazing. Look at this. It's a skate bowl. Cool. Can I try? Oh, we got some relationship. Sure, but please be careful. Mom says if I break my hoverboard, we can't make another one. You take turns riding around the bowl, trying to get enough speed going down one side to come back up the other. You don't land any tricks. It's hard just staying on the board with this uneven ground, but it's still fun. Okay. Ew. Who are you? Expeditions. You step cautiously through the colony gates. Hey there, kiddo. Uncle Tonin blocks your way with a smile. I'm afraid expeditions are off limits for now. It's not safe out there for kids. You better toughen up so you can join the squads when you're older. Okay. Tough. Brave. View map. Okay, that's just all of our things. We'll look at those later when we actually need to. View the bestiary. Okay, so there's a couple things. But that does give us some options for later. Dis is sitting on the ground just outside the gate. under the watchful eye of someone working in expeditions. We're just as stuck here as we were on the ship, he mumbles, but doesn't say anything else after that. Okay. Anemone runs up to you. Hi, Heather, she huffs, catching her breath. She grins. On the ship, adults are always saying, no running, Anemone, no running. But outside there's so much room. I can run for 5 minutes in one direction. Even more after the robo-plows clear the land for farms. Okay. And then this girl. Tangent is hunched over her hollow palm, frowning and poking angrily at the air. She speaks without looking up at you. Professor Hal wants us to prep a list of native flora with pictures. There should be a catalog on the Colony HoloNet, but I can't find it anywhere. Let's make our own list. Tangent is dubious, but agrees to try your idea. The two of you run around the colony yard, taking pictures of all the different vertumnant plants you can find, and making up fake sciencey sounding names for them, like Wonkius shrubbius and Purpurus gracium. We got some relationship. After an hour, you categorized 51 different species. I said Tang last time, but her name's Tangent, so it's probably Tange. Tange doesn't think it's a very complete list, or a very scientific method, but she figures you must have learned something. Okay. I think it's going to take some time to get skills up. Like, it's offering me things if my skill was at 20, but I think it's going to be a while before we're at 20 anything. What can we do in the house? Because I don't think I've looked. Oh, that's geoponics. So no, we are not doing geoponics. We're going to go to the house. We're going to relax today because our stress is pretty high. So let's do that. I could sit alone with the hollow palm. And that would do something for my reasoning. Maybe we do that today. We can talk to other people later. Sometimes the best company is yourself. You find a quiet corner of the lounge and curl up in a cozy egg-shaped chair with your holopalm. You check your HoloNet notifications. Nobody bugging you. Good. Then watch some vids from the archive. Maximum Relaxium. Maximum Relaxum. Maximum Relaximum. Maximum Relaximum. I took the month off. I do wish it was a close and keep card, so I got some new cards. That's nice. It is now early pollen season. Okay. Character traits. Let's look at, okay, now I want to look at them more, not less. Okay. So, there's a bunch of people. I guess it takes more friendship with him to get up, because we're about the same place, but our friendship is 4 with her, 6 with him. Tangent, we have a full heart on. We have 14 with him. Maybe it started us with something because he was already our best friend. That's who we picked. Tammy, Mars, and these are just people. Okay. Tangent looks up at the sky and shades her eyes. It's too bright, she complains, and it's too hot, and the nights are cold. Living on the stratospheric meant we never had to experience discomfort. Remind me, why aren't we putting our resources into repairing the ship? Okay. Anemone runs up to you. Oh, we've already done that. This must be what they all say. Is this the same thing? Yes. So I guess until we can do things with them, it's going to be the same. The suns, they're so warm. Cal lifts his face to the sky, his eyes closed. Well, the blue one is just kind of warm, he continues, but the yellow one is like a heater in the sky. The grow lights on the strata were bright, but never hot like this. It's so nice. Okay. And I guess hers will be the same. Right there. They don't have anything. Mars does not have anything. So I guess there's nobody to talk to just yet. So we need to work on our skills. I could play sports ball. That would give us maybe bravery up there and some toughness. Yeah, 2 bravery, 1 toughness, a friendship with anemone. Over here, so we can't do this yet. We need reasoning of 5, and I would really like to do this. Reasoning of 1, 2 biology, friendship with tangent. That's why we're so up with her, because we've done this twice. Humanity, also friendship with tangent. We really do need to learn stuff. We need to get skills up. So we'll do life science this time, then we'll do sports ball next time. This week in biology class, you learn about predators and prey. Professor Hal brings up a picture of a hawkeye on the holoprojector and asks, "Who can tell me what special thing hawkeyes do when they see a predator?" Tange's hand shoots up. They hop away very quickly. That's why we call it a hawkeye. Hal nods. That's true, but not what I was getting at. Tange stammers and looks upset, like she can't believe she got something wrong. Hal scans the class again. Anyone else? Heather? They fly away? That's debatable. But does that get me a card? It's got a card thing. Well, I guess we'll see. You stammer after being put on the spot and say the first thing that comes to mind. That might work, Hal smiles, but hawkeyes don't have wings. He gestures to the picture of the one right in front of you on the holoprojector. You feel pretty dumb. They thump their feet to warn other hawkeyes in the area. Then they hop away very quickly. You look over at Tange smirking at you. You both got it wrong, but she still thinks she's better than you. Okay, let's see. Looking for more difficulty? This harder card challenges option will keep you on your toes. Want to focus on the story? This will replace future mini-games with a quick coin flip based on your age and skills. You can change either option anytime from the settings menu. Okay. Alright, so my goal is 13. Okay, so I think what we want to... Let's do the gold. Then we'll do this one. And then we want to do them in order, right? 2 and 3. Okay. Because we got this straight for those numbers, straight for the flesh, or for the 6 for the flesh, and then 1 here for one of a kind. Awesome. Then I got a kudos. And I got a friendship with Tange. You wake from an afternoon nap. You squint into the pink-tinged light slanting through the windows. You must have fallen asleep in the lounge. Tammy's shadow falls across your nest of pillows. "Oh, I'm sorry, Heather," she says, giggling. "I didn't mean to wake you. It's just so nice outside, with the pollen sparkling in the sunlight. I wanted to open the windows." You rub your eyes blearily. Ugh, you were having the weirdest dream. Since you're awake, you should visit the cafeteria. Auntie Seeden is making a new kind of candy. She says it's made of cotton. Isn't that weird? I have to go tidy the creche first, then I'll meet you there. Save some for me, okay? Tammy skips off towards the creche, humming to herself. Go get free candy. Awesome. In the cafeteria, Auntie Seedent is cheerfully handing out masses of pink candy, puffy and soft like clouds. Oh, Heather, she says, handing you a wand of some candy spun around the end. Here, try some of it. We used to have it on Earth. You pull off a piece and give it a taste. It's so sweet at first that your mouth puckers. You've never tasted anything so sweet and so real. It's not at all like the soy sweets the kitchen nanoprinter can make. It melts in your mouth, leaving a gritty residue on your tongue. You wait until everyone is gone, but Tammy never shows up. You look down at the cotton candy in your hand. It's wilted a little from the humidity, but it's kind of like her hair, you think, pale pink and soft. You keep some to give to her later. You're relaxing in your family's quarters after dinner. Your mom had to run off on some kind of council business, so you and your dad are playing a holo game together. When you're just about ready to head off to bed, your mom returns. You can tell from the defeated slant of her shoulders that something has gone terribly wrong. Your dad starts to ask her what's happened, but she waves him away and approaches you. Ooh. She sits down and takes your hand, holding it between two strong dirt-creased ones. Heather, I'm so sorry to have to tell you this, she starts. Her mouth quivers as she swallows, working on her next words. There was an accident this afternoon, in the creche. Your classmate, Tammy, has died. You try to understand her words. Tammy? Dead? That's not possible. You suddenly remember the cotton candy you were saving to give Tammy, pink and fluffy, just like her hair. You put your hand in your pocket to get it, but what comes out is a sticky, dark red lump of hard goo. You stare at it, your mind blank. Ask what happened. Your mom tells you, as simply as possible, that Tammy was killed by an electric shock from a broken holo projector. It was just an accident. You press her for more, for an explanation. A little girl is dead, someone you'd grown up with, someone so much like you. She wasn't sick or anything. You saw her just this morning. She was right there. Why? Your mom's eyes are sad when she tells you. Sometimes, there's just no reason why. You aren't used to dealing with death, and you don't know what you're supposed to say or do. You sort of mumble, okay, then get changed and crawl into bed, a full hour before your bedtime. You try to fall asleep, but you toss and turn for hours. You eventually drift off to fitful dreams of that small, sticky red lump of cotton candy. Okay. Well, on such a downer, we are going to go ahead and end today. And hopefully, things are less depressing in the next episode. But yeah, that's where we're going to go ahead and end this time. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.